Exactly. Now we're talking. Yeah.
Can you get those? Are they real then? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are they?
They're real. They are
absolutely
real.
Wom. Exactly. Yeah. If you strike me down now, I will become more powerful than ever. Alec Guinness told me a story when he became Catholic, and when his son Matthew was about sort of 8, he decided to give him a crucifix for his birthday. So you may not appreciate it now, but one day you will find this extremely important. And Matthew picked it up and just went... Very pleased with something. Well, Blind King John of Bohemia did die in the Battle of Crécy, but so brave was he considered by the victor of Crécy, the Black Prince, that he took Blind John King of Bohemia's motto, which was German for I serve. Do you know what that is?
Where the bloody hell am I?
Ich.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Prince of Wales.
Serviert. Ich.
And which is still
today,
the motto of the Prince of Wales, I serve. And also, though this is more controversial, the 3 ostrich feathers that were the symbol of the Bohemian prince. And it all comes from Blind King John of Bohemia. Anyway, so that was the Battle of Crécy, the end of the days of chivalry, the beginning of machine wars, if you like, longbows and cannons and so on, but a great...
And cheating.
And cheating, if you want to put it that way. Speaking of riding into danger, which fairground ride is most dangerous? The Wall of Death, the Wheel of Death, the Death Slide, or the Euthanasia Coaster?
Well, I'd go for the latter, but I've been on the Wall of Death.
Yes, what is a Wall of Death?
That's the bike thing where you go up and there's a sort of...
what keeps you from falling?
Sticky tape.
Audience? Centripetal force.
Like a salad spinner, essentially.
Yeah, if you like, exactly.
Was it fun?
Tumble dryer.
It was a lot of fun. My dad detached his retina.
Whoa, seriously?
Yeah,
Before he got on, he went, right, here we go.
He wanted to be like Blind King John of Bohemia.
Yes, and you stick.
Oh.
My sister went on one of those, right, at the Cramlington Carnival, and as it was going around, there was a kid next to her with a goldfish in a bag, and it exploded. But the trouble is, he couldn't do anything about it, she couldn't do anything about it, so they're on there like, and it went poof, like that. And the two of them just started going, like that. And then as it slowed down, and then, yeah.
Poor little goldfish.
The Wall of Death is also, I think, an expression at heavy metal concerts.
Yeah. Yes.
Just before some amazing song that's going to go off, all the fans move out into 2 lines and leave like a passageway, and before the most violent sort of song reaches some crescendo, they all go...
That's absolutely right. It's a kind of moshing wall, exactly, in which they fight. And there has been a death at one of those, in fact. Well done for knowing that. Definite points there. The Wall of Death was first seen in Coney Island in 1915. There have been a few reported accidents, but no fatalities. And we can add to that list 2 detached retinae.
There was one that a guy had a bear on, wasn't there? Have you seen that? With a car on a Wall of Death, and there's a bear in the car. Just putting it out there.
Not nice. The Wheel of Death is slightly harder to describe. It's a kind of circus apparatus, a beam attached to a tower. The tower rotates about its centre, and then either end there's a hoop. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And the acrobat stands inside, and they're rotating inside something that's also rotating, so it's a kind of double rotation thing.
With no cables, no safety cables.
No, it was invented in 1933 as the Space Wheel, and there were fatalities, and then it was brought back in the 1970s as the Wheel of Death, and ironically, since then, there have been no deaths.
Safe, yeah.
It's been safer.
There's the globe. Have you seen the Globe of Death?
Oh, no, what's
Well,
that?
it's like a mesh ball like that, and you have one motorbike goes round like this, and the other one goes like that.
Oh, my God, the timing has to be so good.
Has to,
The Death Slide is really better known as a zip wire. But you are absolutely right that, in theory, the most deadly of them all is the Euthanasia Coaster. It's a project of an art student in London called Julijonas Urbonas. He's a Lithuanian PhD student. It exists as a 1 in 500 scale model, and you can see there. The idea is the ride would last 3 minutes, a 2-minute ascent to the very, very top. It's 1,600 foot.
Oh, God.
So very, very high. You then have a minute's 223 miles per hour plunge down into those rolls like that, during which you're pulling 10 Gs of centrifugal force in that case, and that would kill the rider through what's called cerebral hypoxia. In other words, deprivation of oxygen to the brain.
Have Chessington World of Adventure bought it?
No, they haven't. He believes his design offers a humane and meaningful death. I don't know quite why it's meaningful.
Die like a screaming clown.
That'd be amazing, because you could actually build a chapel at the end. Yes. And the family could just sit there and...
Absolutely.
And then the best thing of all is after the funeral, you get a picture of your loved one.
Have
it on mugs, anything you want.
Well, he believes the descent offers the chance for reflection, and the riders can still pull out once they've reached the top. If not, death is painless, quick, and apparently euphoric. So how they know, I don't know.
There's one in Auckland, one of those ball things that you sit in, and you know, they have the bungee straps and they fire you up.
Oh,
the top,
my goodness.
But they make you wear, like, one of those surgical mask things. And I said, why are they wearing the surgical mask? And apparently, because it's right next to an office building, people are trying to work, and you hear, "Ah!" It was putting them off. So now it's going, "Ah!" So some bloke's going, well, I predicted sales over the next one. On the windows.
Oh, my God.
I went to Alton Towers one time, and they had this ride where you just go along, and then you get to the edge of a vertical drop, and then it goes like that, and everyone goes, "Ah!" And then it just drops you straight down a hole in the ground.
Oh, good God.
And if you sit in the cafe next to it, you can see it out the window. So while you're having your sandwiches, just about every 60 seconds, just all day long.
Why do people...
Disturbing place to work.
I'm always fascinated why
It really
people
is frightening ride
love
as well.
that feel. I mean, I know it's... I mean, roller coasters when I was a kid, it was like, wow, that was it. But now they're so extreme.
Oh. Yeah.
I just...
really
I
are.
don't get the kind of exhilaration of
I
it.
bungee jumped, and that was so exciting. I immediately had to do it again. I just absolutely
Really?
loved it, yeah.
What about the guy who made his own bungee jump? You heard about him?
That was stupid.
I think he won a Darwin Award.
Yeah.
He made his own bungee jump with a rope.
So just hung himself?
Well, no, it took his foot off.
Oh!
His foot came off.
Well, that's just
That's what
terrific.
the Darwin Awards are all about.
Yep, it certainly is. So, what's the biggest dead body in the world?
Vehicle reversing.
Blue whale.
I'll give you a little hint. It's a body of water.
The Dead Sea.
Dead Sea.
The Black Sea, because of the jellyfish.
Yes, well, not because of the jellyfish. The jellyfish certainly didn't help, but the Black Sea, only the very top has any living things going in. 90% of it is absolutely dead. And it is much, 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 much bigger than the Dead Sea, and much, much deader. 90%, as I say, is just simply nothing. It's been dead for millennia, so it's not our fault for once. It's a very steep basin into which the upper and lower layers don't mix, and the bacteria use up all the oxygen. And if you take the oxygen out of a sulfate, you are left with hydrogen sulfide, which is the sort of rotten egg smell. And the Black Sea is the largest reservoir of hydrogen sulfide on the planet, and it's deadly.
Is there any use for that? Someone could devise a use for that? Some scientist who isn't busy measuring how long it takes to spill his coffee on the way back from the mission?
Yes, they have already devised a use for it, and that is as a poison to kill people.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and in
If
fact...
the euthanasia roller coaster was going to take off.
I tell you what, it's a hell of a Butlins.
In Japan, in particular, it's very, very popular because you can use, you know, various household cleaners and pesticides to make it. And 2,000 detergent suicides, as they're called, have been recorded in Japan since 2005. So it's a single breath is enough to kill a human being. It's almost as deadly as hydrogen cyanide.
Since 2005.
It's a lot, isn't it? I know, it's pretty disturbing. One of the dangers is that after the first sniff, it doesn't smell of anything. It kills the olfactory system. And so 80% of people who turn up at the scene of a detergent suicide are themselves poisoned by the gas remaining because they can't smell it. So it's really most unfortunate. So there's not much cheerful about that, I have to say. I'm sorry about that.
Right.
So we can cheer ourselves up. What isn't a blue whale, but floats around in the sea and weighs as much as a blue whale?
Is it an elephant on holiday?
Elephant doesn't weigh as much as a blue whale. No, it's really...
A ship?
No.
Submarine.
No, it's something that the blue whale
A massive
consumes.
lilo.
Plankton?
The blue whale can consume its own weight in
Plankton.
Well, actually, in water. It dives all the way down and then dives up again with its mouth open, and it swells and swells and swells, and it literally can take on 90 tons of water. Quite a staggering sum.
Gotta love a blue whale.
Yeah.
That's right. You do love a blue whale.
That's my thirsty mother.
They're marvellous. They can actually take in something the size of a blue whale. Not to swallow, as you know, because, as we've discussed previously, grapefruit's the biggest thing. They can actually get down their gullet. But they get this gigantic amount of water inside them. Really amazing. And they go really, really deep, and no one's been able to go deep enough to find out what they do until very recently.
Just gossiping.
Just gossiping. That's right. Having quizzes in which people say, is the answer Alan Davis? Yes, well, it is indeed. The water in a blue whale's mouth weighs as much as a blue whale does. Why shouldn't you mess with the maxillofacial death pyramid?
Is it because it's got the word death in it?
that is a hint. The maxillofacial death
fun pyramid.
What would maxillofacial mean?
Maxillofacial is who you go to see when you get a broken cheekbone.
Yeah, exactly. It's the maxillary area of the jaw.
Top jaw, isn't it?
But it's the maxillary. The pyramid is actually sort of there from the bridge of the nose down through the.
So it's like a facial Bermuda triangle.
There it is. Yeah, yeah. And it's basically about blood flow from the brain down. If you've got little infections and things, it goes down through there and then gets sorted out by the immune system. But what can happen if you pick your nose and your spots and things is you can get bacteria in it that sort of block it and force it all the way back up into the brain. Meningitis is an example of that, and syphilis, indeed, is
From picking your nose?
Well, not from picking. We know you get syphilis from other
God!
Yeah, that's how you get syphilis.
It does, It slightly depends what you're picking it with.
That's how you explain it to the wife. No, I was just picking my nose, look. Must have spread.
Yeah.
There is actually a DIY hardcore punk band from Sheffield called the Maxillofacial Death Pyramid.
Oh, they're really good.
Yeah.
I like the sound
It's
of
quite a mouthful for asking for a ticket, but they're probably excellent. And if you're watching, you know, I'm coming to your next concert, you can absolutely guarantee
Internationally
it.
recognised signal for death metal bands.
Yeah. So you've got to be a little bit careful about picking your nose. Pleasurable an activity as it is.
You can die from it.
Yeah, that's something to tell your children. Well, there you are. Now, making hydrogen with nails and drain cleaner would be a very jolly jape indeed, don't you think?
Yes, I think
so. So let's try it.
Yeah.
To prove that it's hydrogen, I'm going to have to set fire to it. And I'm going to have to set fire to it on my own hand. So, first of all, I'm going to have a little basin of water I'm going to put here to dip my hand in, to wet it so I don't burn myself too badly. And then I have my really exciting... Oh, hello. Made a mistake. Sorry, man in my ear. Furious with me.
What's he fucking doing? Put the water down! Do this properly or you will die. Do you understand?
No.
Start again, for fuck's sake!
He was much gentler than that. He was very sweet. So, anyway, I've been told to tell you not to try this at home.
Try it at someone else's home.
Yeah, sorry.
The fire exits are there and there.
What I've got here is I've got some ordinary green-coloured washing up liquid. We're not allowed to mention its name. I've got a little chemical lab, I don't know what you call this, little... Flask, I think is the word.
Oh, this is like going on a picnic with Heston Blumenthal.
It's got some nails in it, going to add a few more, a little bit of zinc. And I've got here, this is the hydrochloric acid, basically.
When are you going to put on the safety goggles, Stephen?
I'm going to put on the safety goggles now, because I'm about to open the bottle of acid.
Put the fucking safety goggles on!
Not only that, but I've also got a mask. Here we go.
Sorry, can I just ask you? You're putting on safety goggles. You're putting on a mask.
You're fine. You're expendable. I may have the mask upside down. It does tell you to put the mask on your children before putting it on yourself, as on an aeroplane.
Put the fucking mask upside down!
Right, OK, I've got the goggles.
Right.
I've got this. Now, what I'm going to do, all right, is I'm going to pour this acid...
Jesus, onto some nails.
Into the nails, that's right.
Why?
And the zinc and the hydrochloric acid will react.
Has he been drinking?
Yeah.
Has he been drinking?
He's been drinking that.
Oh, there we go. And that's going to produce quite a lot.
It's flying away.
I now have to put this I have to put this cork in it. If I put the cork in it tight enough, it will come out of here. And I put this in here, and it will bubble up. Right, that's important.
You say so.
If the bubbles are made of hydrogen, this is my contention. And the only way to prove it is to grasp the bubbles. I'm going to wet my hand now to be safer. And
Raffles.
grasp these
The
bubbles.
hell is that?
Or I'm going to take the
It's
bubbles
like a
there.
sex
Oh, you're going to
cactus.
go. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get even more bubbles.
That is great.
Stephen's goggles are so steamed up, he's completely blind.
Even more bubbles.
He's blind
Here we
as
go.
blind King
Here
John
we
of
go.
Bohemia.
Oh, come on. Oh,
They
work
don't got a
lighter.
light.
Oh, the light has stopped working. Oh! Let's try it again. One more.
Put your hand again, you
Oh,
What the
come on.
hell?
Bloody lighter.
Expelliarmus!
Oh. We'll take that off now.
Wow.
I've made hydrogen, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Very exciting.
Pretty exciting. Let's cover that.
Put the lid on the acid!
There we are. We can let all the hydrogen disappear. Our wonderful science elf said, so scientific, he said, don't touch that because it's exothermic. It just means it's hot.
Hot. It's hot.
Couldn't say hot, had to say exothermic.
How's the smell? Can I just say that's quite
smell?
the...
Pretty whiffy,
Yes, we
pretty
can.
eggy
It's
whiffy,
pretty
Eggy whiffy, well, a bit of hydrogen sulfide probably in there that might kill you, of course. Let's hope not. Let's hope at least you survive until we get to the scores. Well, I have to say, sadly, in last place... Is it that bad?
It's downwind.
Especially now I know it's potentially fatal.
No,
Yes, it is.
it's not hydrogen sulfide, it's just hydrogen. So, I'm afraid in last place, but it's a very creditable last place. And only just with minus 16 is Julia Zamiro. Oh! And through some extraordinary good fortune, avoiding final place, third place with minus 14, Alan Davis. Highly respectable. And my goodness, it's tight at the top with minus 7 in second place, Ross Noble. So, that can only mean that our winner with a magnificent minus 6 is Sue Perkins. So it's good night from Sue, Ross, Julia, Alan and me. Now, you come back soon now, you hear? Do that thing and be lovely to each other. Good night.
Stay with us as the comedy continues here on BBC HD. In just a moment, we head up to Ward.